Hi everyone, it's Blippi. Today we're going on an exciting adventure to explore the wonderful world around us. Look around, can you see all the amazing things? The bright blue sky, the fluffy white clouds, the lush green grass, and the colorful flowers are all a part of our incredible world. Have you ever wondered what makes up all these fantastic things? Why is the grass green? What shape is that cloud? How many petals does that flower have? These are all questions that we can answer by understanding three simple things: colors, shapes, and numbers. Get ready for an awesome adventure where we'll learn about colors, shapes, and numbers, and how they help us understand the world around us. We'll play games, sing songs, and have so much fun learning together. First, we'll dive into a rainbow of colors. Colors are everywhere around us, painting our world with beauty and vibrancy. Imagine a world without colors. It would be so dull and lifeless. But thanks to the magic of colors, we can enjoy the beauty of nature, art, and everything in between. From the bright blue sky to the green grass, colors make everything more interesting and fun. Today we're going to explore the wonderful world of colors and learn how they mix and match to create even more beautiful hues. We'll learn about primary colors like fiery red, sunny yellow, and ocean blue. These are the building blocks of all other colors. Red is the color of passion and energy, yellow is the color of happiness and sunshine, and blue is the color of calm and serenity. When we mix these primary colors together, we can create a whole new world of colors. It's like magic. Then we'll mix them up to create secondary colors like vibrant orange, grassy green, and pretty purple. Orange is a warm and inviting color, green is the color of nature and growth, and purple is a royal and mysterious color. By mixing red and yellow, we get orange. By mixing yellow and blue, we get green. And by mixing blue and red, we get purple. It's amazing how just a few colors can create so many different shades and tones. Get ready to see the world in a whole new light. Colors can change the way we feel and see things. They can make us happy, calm, excited, or even hungry. For example, red can make us feel energetic and hungry, while blue can make us feel calm and relaxed. By understanding colors, we can use them to create beautiful art, decorate our homes, and even choose the right clothes to wear. So let's dive into the colorful world and see what we can discover. Next, we'll explore the world of shapes. Shapes are the building blocks of everything around us. From the simplest objects to the most complex structures, everything is made up of shapes. By learning about shapes, we can understand how things are made and how they fit together. Shapes are not just for math and science, they are also important in art, design, and everyday life. So, let's take a closer look at the different shapes and see how they make our world more interesting. We'll learn about circles that are round like balls. Circles are everywhere around us. They are in the wheels of our cars, the plates we eat from, and even the sun in the sky. Circles are a symbol of unity and infinity because they have no beginning or end. They are also very important in art and design because they can create a sense of balance and harmony. So let's find some circles around us and see how they make our world more beautiful. Squares that have 4 equal sides like a sandwich. Squares are very common in our everyday life. They are in the tiles on our floors, the windows in our houses, and the screens of our devices. Squares are a symbol of stability and order because they have equal sides and right angles. They are also very important in architecture and design because they can create a sense of structure and organization. So let's find some squares around us and see how they make our world more orderly. And triangles that have 3 sides just like a slice of pizza. Triangles are very interesting shapes because they can be very strong and stable. They are in the roofs of our houses, the bridges we cross, and even in the pyramids of Egypt. Triangles are a symbol of strength and stability because they have a strong base and can support a lot of weight. They are also very important in engineering and design because they can create a sense of direction and movement. So let's find some triangles around us and see how they make our world more dynamic. We'll find shapes everywhere we look, from the food we eat to the toys we play with. Shapes are not just in the objects around us, they are also in nature. For example, the leaves on the trees, the petals on the flowers, and the shells on the beach all have different shapes. By understanding shapes, we can appreciate the beauty of nature and the world around us. So let's take a closer look at the shapes in our everyday life and see how they make our world more interesting. Finally, we'll count our way to number fun. Numbers are everywhere around us. They are in the clocks we use to tell time, the money we use to buy things, and even in the games we play. By learning about numbers, we can understand how to measure, compare, and calculate things. Numbers are not just for math and science, they are also important in everyday life. So let's take a closer look at the world of numbers and see how they make our life easier and more fun. We'll learn to count from 1 to 10. Counting is the first step in understanding numbers. By learning to count, we can understand how to measure and compare things. For example, we can count the number of apples in a basket, the number of steps we take, or the number of stars in the sky. Counting is also very important in math because it helps us understand addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So let's start counting and see how it can help us in our everyday life. Just like counting the fingers on our hands. Our hands are a great tool for counting because we have 10 fingers. By using our fingers, we can easily count from 1 to 10. This is a great way to start learning about numbers because it is simple and fun. We can also use our fingers to understand addition and subtraction. For example, if we have 5 fingers on one hand and we add 3 more fingers from the other hand, we get 8 fingers in total. So let's use our fingers to count and see how it can help us understand numbers better. We'll use our new counting skills to count everything around us, from the clouds in the sky. Counting is not just for numbers, it is also a great way to understand the world around us. By counting things, we can understand how many there are and how they compare to each other. For example, we can count the number of clouds in the sky, the number of birds in a tree, or the number of cars on the street. Counting is a great way to explore and understand the world around us. So let's start counting and see what we can discover. To the cars on the street. Counting is a great way to understand and organize the world around us. By counting things, we can understand how many there are and how they compare to each other. For example, we can count the number of cars on the street, the number of people in a room, or the number of toys in a box. Counting is also a great way to develop our math skills and understand more complex concepts like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So let's start counting and see how it can help us understand the world better. So, are you ready to put on your learning caps and join me on this exciting adventure? We'll sing, we'll dance, and we'll have a blast while we learn about colors, shapes, and numbers. Let's discover the magic of learning together. Are you with me? Let's go. Woohoo! It's time to explore the wonderful world of colors. Colors are everywhere, making our world bright, beautiful, and exciting. Just imagine a world without colors. Wouldn't it be boring? Colors help us identify and describe things around us. For example, when we see a fire truck, we know it's red. When we see a juicy watermelon, we know it's red on the inside and green on the outside. And when we see the bright shining sun, we know it's yellow. But did you know that all these amazing colors come from just a few special colors? It's like magic. These special colors are called primary colors, and they're the building blocks of all the other colors we see. Are you ready to meet the magical primary colors? Let's go! The primary colors are like superheroes of the color world. There are 3 primary colors: red, yellow, and blue. These colors are super special because we can't make them by mixing other colors together. They're the starting point for all the other colors. Red is a powerful color, full of energy. It reminds us of fire trucks, juicy strawberries, and yummy ketchup. Yellow is a bright and cheerful color, just like the sun, shining stars, and delicious bananas. And blue reminds us of the calm ocean, the vast sky, and yummy blueberries. Now let's see what happens when we mix these powerful primary colors together. Get ready for some color magic. When we mix 2 primary colors together, something magical happens. We create a brand new color called a secondary color. It's like a color surprise. Let's start by mixing red and yellow. Can you guess what color we'll get? That's right, we get orange. Orange reminds us of juicy oranges, playful goldfish, and the warm setting sun. Now let's mix yellow and blue. What color do you think we'll get? Yes, it's green. Green reminds us of lush grass, leafy trees, and crunchy cucumbers. Finally, let's mix blue and red. What color will this magical mix create? You got it, it's purple. Purple reminds us of beautiful violets, yummy grapes, and even a lavender plant. Wow! We created so many beautiful colors just by mixing the primary colors. Isn't that amazing? Now that we've learned about primary and secondary colors, let's play a fun game. Look around you and see if you can find objects of different colors. Can you find something red? Maybe it's a toy fire truck, a juicy apple, or a bright red balloon. How about something blue? Maybe it's your favorite blue shirt, the sky outside your window, or a bowl full of blueberries? Now let's find something yellow, like a bright yellow banana, a rubber ducky, or a cheerful sunflower. And how about something green? Maybe it's a green leaf, a green toy frog, or a juicy green pear. Great job finding all those colorful objects. You're a color detective. We've explored so many fantastic colors today, from fiery red to sunny yellow, from calm blue to vibrant orange, and from grassy green to pretty purple. Each color is unique and special. What's your favorite color? Mine is orange because it's so bright and cheerful. Tell me your favorite color and what it reminds you of. Now that we know so much about colors, let's move on to the wonderful world of shapes in our next exciting adventure. Are you ready to explore? Let's go. Get ready to jump for joy because it's time to explore the amazing world of shapes. Shapes are like puzzle pieces that make up the world around us. We can find shapes everywhere, from the food we eat to the toys we play with. Learning about shapes helps us understand how things are made and how they fit together. Plus, it's a whole lot of fun. We're going to learn about circles, squares, and triangles, and you'll be surprised how often you spot them throughout the day. Are you ready to become a shape detective? Put on your detective hats, grab your magnifying glasses, and let's go on a shape-tastic adventure. Our first stop is the land of circles. Circles are super cool because they're perfectly round with no corners or edges. They're like a continuous loop, going round and round and round. Can you think of things that are shaped like circles? How about a delicious cookie, a colorful button, or the bright shining sun? That's right, these are all things we see every day that are shaped like circles. Circles are also great for rolling. Have you ever rolled a ball or spun a hula hoop? They move so smoothly because of their circular shape. Circles are all about fun and movement. Section 3. The square. 4 sides, all the same. Next up, we're visiting the land of squares. Squares are like the neat freaks of the shape world. They have 4 equal sides and 4 corners, making them nice and tidy. Look around you, can you find things that are shaped like squares? How about a slice of cheese, a window in your house, or a checkerboard ready for a fun game? That's right, squares are everywhere. Squares are great for building things because they fit together so nicely. Imagine trying to build a tower with round blocks. It would be pretty tricky, but with squares, it's a piece of cake. Section 4. The triangle, 3 sides and 3 corners. Now hold on tight because we're entering the land of triangles. Triangles are like the adventurous ones in the shape world. They have 3 sides and 3 corners, and they always stand out from the crowd. What things can you think of that are shaped like triangles? How about a slice of pizza, a traffic cone, or even a pyramid in Egypt? That's right, triangles are all around us. Triangles are strong and sturdy shapes. Have you ever noticed how bridges and roofs often use triangles in their designs? That's because triangles help distribute weight evenly, making structures stronger. Section 5. Can you spot the shapes? Wow, we've learned so much about circles, squares, and triangles today. Now it's time to put on your shape detective hats and see how many shapes you can spot around you. Look around your room, your house, or even outside your window. Can you find circles, squares, and triangles hiding in plain sight? Maybe you'll find a round clock, a square table, or a triangular slice of cake. Remember, shapes are everywhere, and now you have the superpower to spot them all. Keep exploring, keep learning, and most importantly, keep having fun with shapes. Get ready to count with me, explorers. We're entering the exciting world of numbers. Numbers help us understand how much of something there is, whether it's toys, treats, or even clouds in the sky. We use numbers every single day. Can you count how many fingers you have on one hand? How about how many toes on one foot? That's right, we use numbers to count. Today, we're going to learn to count from 1 to 10. It's like a magical number ladder, and we're going to climb it step by step. Are you ready to climb with me? Let's go! Let's start our counting adventure with the number 1. 1 is like having a single special toy all to yourself. It's the very beginning of our counting journey. Next comes the number 2. 2 is like having a pair of shoes, 1 for each foot. It's double the fun of number 1. Now it's time for number 3. 3 is like having 3 scoops of ice cream on a hot summer day. That's a lot of deliciousness. 4 is like having 4 wheels on a car, taking us on exciting adventures. 5 is like having all 5 fingers on one hand ready to high-five our friends. Now that we know how to count to 5, let's learn about more and less. More means having a bigger amount of something, while less means having a smaller amount. Let's say you have 2 cookies, and your friend has 5 cookies. Your friend has more cookies than you, and you have less cookies than your friend. But don't worry, even with less, cookies are still yummy. We can use our counting skills to figure out who has more or less of something. It's like a fun number game. Are you ready to play? Get ready to add some excitement to our number adventure because it's time to learn about addition. Addition means putting things together and counting how many we have in total. Let's say you have 2 red balls and then you find 3 more blue balls. How many balls do you have altogether? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 balls in total. We can use our fingers, toys, or even our imaginations to add things up. Addition helps us count bigger and bigger numbers, and it's a lot of fun. Hold on to your hats because we're about to subtract. Subtraction means taking something away and counting how many are left. It's like magic, but with numbers. Let's say you have 5 grapes and you eat 2 of them. How many grapes do you have left? Let's take away. We start with 5, take away 1, and we're left with 4. Take away another one and we have 3. You have 3 grapes left. We can use our fingers, objects around us, or even draw pictures to help us subtract. Subtraction helps us understand how numbers get smaller, and it's a fun way to play with numbers. Hold on to your hats, explorers, because things are about to get super colorful and super shape-tastic. We're going on a magical journey to a land where colors and shapes come together to create something amazing. Imagine a rainbow, but instead of just being stripes of color, it's made up of different shapes. Can you picture a red circle shining bright like a stop sign? Or a yellow triangle sparkling like a slice of cheese? How about a blue square, as cool as a swimming pool on a summer day? Or a green rectangle, as lush and green as a grassy field? In this magical land, anything is possible. Are you ready to explore this shape-shifting rainbow and discover all its secrets? Let's go! Our first stop in this magical land is a game of hide-and-seek. But this isn't just any hide-and-seek, it's the colorful shape hunt. I'm going to describe a shape and its color, and you have to find something around you that matches the description. Are you ready to put on your detective hats and search for clues? Okay, detectives, your first mission is to find something that is shaped like a circle and is the color red. Look around. Maybe it's a juicy apple, a bouncy ball, or even a button on your shirt. Great job finding all those red circles. You're shape-detecting superstars. Now, for your next mission, find something that's shaped like a square and is the color blue. Now that we're experts at spotting colorful shapes, let's combine our shape-detecting skills with our awesome counting abilities. Get ready for counting shapes, counting fun. We're going to count how many shapes of each color we can find. This is a super fun way to practice our counting and learn even more about colors and shapes. Let's start with the color red. Look around your room and count how many red circles you can find. Then count how many red squares you can find, and finally, how many red triangles. Wow, you found so many red shapes. Now let's try it with the color blue. Remember, we're counting blue circles, blue squares, and blue triangles. Section 4, the shape number story time. It's story time, explorers, but this isn't just any story, it's the shape number story time. Gather around, get comfy, and let your imagination take flight as we dive into a world where shapes and numbers come alive. Are you ready? Let's begin. Get ready for an adventure filled with colorful shapes, exciting numbers, and maybe even a surprise or two. In this magical land, every shape and number has a story to tell. and today, we're going to hear one of the most exciting tales of all. Once upon a time, in a land filled with bouncy rainbows and singing flowers, there lived a brave little triangle named Tricky. Tricky wasn't just any triangle, he was a bright yellow triangle as cheerful as the sun, and he loved to explore the world around him. Every day was a new adventure for Tricky, and he couldn't wait to see what the day would bring. Tricky was a bright yellow triangle as cheerful as the sun, and he loved to explore the world around him. He would often wander through fields of colorful shapes, each one more fascinating than the last. Tricky's curiosity knew no bounds, and he was always eager to learn something new. One sunny morning, as Tricky was skipping through a field of colorful shapes, he stumbled upon a group of 5 red circles, all huddled together like a bunch of juicy apples. The circles were deep in conversation, and Tricky's curiosity got the better of him. He approached them with a friendly smile, eager to make new friends. "Hello!" chirped Tricky, his voice filled with excitement. The red circles turned to look at him, their eyes wide with surprise. They had never seen a triangle quite like Tricky before, and they were curious to know more about him. "What are you all doing here?" Tricky asked, his eyes sparkling with curiosity. The red circles exchanged glances, unsure of how to respond. They had been planning a special surprise, and they weren't sure if they should share their secret with Tricky just yet. The red circles, startled by Tricky's sudden appearance, jumped up and began to bounce around excitedly. They were thrilled to have a new friend join them, and they couldn't wait to share their surprise with him. "We're planning something really special," one of the circles said, bouncing up and down with excitement. "But it's a secret for now. You'll have to wait and see." Tricky's eyes widened with anticipation. He loved surprises, and he couldn't wait to find out what the red circles had in store. "Can I help?" he asked eagerly. The red circles huddled together, whispering among themselves. After a moment, they turned back to Tricky with big smiles on their faces. "Of course you can help," they said in unison. "But first, we need to find the hidden treasure map." And so, Tricky and the red circles set off on a grand adventure to find the hidden treasure map. They searched high and low, through fields of colorful shapes and under bouncy rainbows. Along the way, they encountered all sorts of interesting characters, each with their own unique story to tell. One of the characters they met was a wise old square named Squinty. Squinty had lived in the land of shapes and numbers for as long as anyone could remember, and he knew all the secrets of the land. "If you're looking for the treasure map," Squinty said, "you'll need to solve a riddle first." Tricky and the red circles listened carefully as Squinty recited the riddle. "I am not a circle, but I have no corners. I am not a square, but I have 4 sides. What am I?" Tricky and the red circles put their heads together, thinking hard. After a moment, Tricky's eyes lit up. "I know the answer," he exclaimed. "It's a rectangle." Squinty smiled and nodded. "That's correct," he said. "The treasure map is hidden in the meadow of rectangles. Good luck on your journey." Tricky and the red circles thanked Squinty and set off for the meadow of rectangles, their hearts filled with excitement and anticipation. When they arrived at the meadow of rectangles, they were amazed by the sight before them. The meadow was filled with rectangles of all shapes and sizes, each one more fascinating than the last. Tricky and the red circles searched through the meadow, looking for any clues that might lead them to the treasure map. After what felt like hours of searching, Tricky spotted something glinting in the grass. He rushed over and picked it up, his heart pounding with excitement. It was the treasure map. Tricky and the red circles gathered around, their eyes wide with wonder as they studied the map. "We did it!" Tricky exclaimed. "Now let's find the treasure!" With the treasure map in hand, Tricky and the red circles set off on the final leg of their journey. They followed the map through fields of colorful shapes, over bouncy rainbows, and past singing flowers. Along the way, they encountered more interesting characters, each one offering a clue that brought them closer to the treasure. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, they arrived at the spot marked on the map. There, hidden beneath a cluster of singing flowers, was a treasure chest. Tricky and the red circles gathered around, their hearts pounding with excitement. They opened the chest to reveal a dazzling array of colorful shapes and numbers, each one more beautiful than the last. Tricky and the red circles cheered with joy. They had found the treasure, and their adventure had brought them closer together as friends. As they celebrated, Tricky realized that the real treasure wasn't the shapes and numbers in the chest, but the memories they had made and the friendships they had formed along the way. And so, Tricky and the red circles lived happily ever after, their hearts filled with the joy of adventure and friendship. The end. Thank you for joining us on this magical journey, explorers. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep having fun. Section 5. Building our colorful world with shapes and numbers. Wow, explorers, we've had an amazing time exploring the world of colors, shapes, and numbers. We've learned so much and had so much fun along the way. But our adventure isn't over yet. Now it's time to take everything we've learned and use it to build our own colorful world. Imagine building a giant tower using only red and blue squares, or creating a winding road using nothing but yellow and green circles. You can even write numbers on pieces of paper and stick them onto your creations. Maybe your tower is 10 blocks high, or your road has 5 curves. The possibilities are endless when you use your imagination and all the amazing things you've learned about colors, shapes, and numbers. Section 1. What have we learned today? Wow, explorers, we've been on such an incredible adventure today. From the moment we set out, our curiosity led us to discover so many fascinating things about the world around us. Each step of our journey was filled with excitement and wonder, and we learned so much along the way. Can you believe how much we've learned about the world around us just by exploring colors, shapes, and numbers? It's amazing how these simple elements can open up a whole new world of understanding. By observing and interacting with our environment, we discovered the beauty and complexity of the natural world. We started our journey by diving into a rainbow of colors, discovering the magic of primary and secondary colors. The vibrant hues of the rainbow captivated our senses and sparked our imagination. We learned that colors are not just for painting and drawing, but they also play a crucial role in our daily lives, from the clothes we wear to the food we eat. We learned that red, yellow, and blue are our primary color superheroes, the building blocks of all other colors. These primary colors are like the foundation of a house, providing the base upon which we can create a myriad of other colors. By mixing them in different combinations, we can unlock an endless spectrum of hues. And by mixing them together, we can create a whole spectrum of amazing colors. It's like being a magician, conjuring up new colors with just a few strokes of a brush. We experimented with mixing red and yellow to make orange, blue and yellow to make green, and red and blue to make purple. Each new color we created was a delightful surprise. Next, we put on our detective hats and went on a shape hunt. Shapes are all around us, and by paying close attention, we can find them in the most unexpected places. Our shape hunt turned into an exciting adventure as we searched for different shapes in our surroundings. We learned about the circle, always round and rolling like the wheels on a bicycle or the sun in the sky. Circles are everywhere, and they remind us of the endless cycles in nature, like the changing seasons and the phases of the moon. The square, with its 4 equal sides like the windows in our homes or the tiles on the floor. Squares are strong and stable, providing a sense of balance and order. We found squares in the most surprising places, from the books on our shelves to the boxes we use for storage. And the adventurous triangle, with its 3 sides and 3 corners. Triangles are dynamic and versatile, appearing in everything from the pyramids of Egypt to the sails of a boat. We discovered that triangles can be found in many different forms, from the slices of a pizza to the roof of a house. Then, we climbed the number ladder all the way to 10, counting everything we could find. Numbers are like the language of the universe, helping us make sense of the world around us. By counting objects, we learned to recognize patterns and understand quantities. We learned how to add numbers together to make bigger numbers, like putting together pieces of a puzzle. Addition helps us understand how things combine and grow, whether it's counting the number of apples in a basket or the number of stars in the sky, and how to subtract to make them smaller. Subtraction is like taking away pieces from a whole, helping us understand how things decrease or disappear. We practice subtracting with everyday objects, like taking away toys from a pile or subtracting minutes from the clock. Numbers help us understand how much of something there is, whether it's measuring ingredients for a recipe or counting the number of steps we take in a day. They are essential tools for organizing and managing our lives. And they're so much fun to play with. Numbers can be found in games, puzzles, and toys, making learning an enjoyable experience. By playing with numbers, we develop our problem-solving skills and enhance our understanding of the world. Throughout our adventure, we shared our discoveries with each other, learning from one another and growing together. Collaboration and communication are key to our learning process, and by working together, we can achieve so much more. As we celebrate our achievements, we realize that learning is a continuous journey, filled with endless possibilities. Each new discovery opens the door to even more questions and adventures. The joy of learning lies in the process, and every step we take brings us closer to understanding the world and ourselves. So, Explorers, let's keep our curiosity alive and continue to seek out new knowledge and experiences. The world is full of wonders waiting to be discovered, and with our inquisitive minds, there's no limit to what we can learn. Until our next adventure, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep having fun. Section 2. Keep exploring, keep learning, keep having fun. But our learning adventure doesn't end here, explorers. The world is full of colors, shapes, and numbers, just waiting to be discovered. Keep your eyes peeled and see how many different colors you can spot throughout the day. Notice the shapes of the buildings you pass, the food you eat, and the toys you play with. And don't forget to count everything. Count the steps you take, the trees you see, and the smiles you share. Remember, learning is an adventure, and it should be fun. So keep exploring, keep asking questions, and never stop being curious about the world around you. Until next time, explorers, Blippi out.